Hi, welcome to Sid's Tips. And today, really excited to sit down with Arjen Helder with FlexBEAM, and looking forward to diving in and talking more about this product that they're launching, what red light therapy is, because I'm learning about red light therapy and looking forward to diving in deeper. So Arjen, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me all the way from Thailand. And
All the way?
glad we're connecting. So how are things in Thailand?
Yeah, things are well here, man. Kind of happy to be here at the moment for obvious reasons, I suppose. This whole
Yeah.
COVID thing is going everywhere, and here it's quite chill, so I'm lucky with that. And yeah, thank you very much for having me on today. It's really cool to reach out and show people what we've been building for over the last couple of years, and I'd love to explain people a little bit more on what it is we do. And yeah, we can just basically get right into it. I mean, you've been nice enough to do a video about our product before, and today I hope we can take some time where I can explain what this is all about, because a lot of people are like, red light, what? You know, people haven't heard about it before. So I'd like to go and explain that a little bit in layman's terms, you know, not to make it too complicated, but just to basically explain the basic principles of what this is and how it was discovered and where it's used and why you should use it, essentially.
Excellent, absolutely. And it's interesting, a friend of mine had been telling me about red light therapy. She's using some kind of board and it sounded interesting. And then when I came across an Indiegogo, learning about it and being able to attach it to my body and be more flexible, it really piqued my interest. I have lower back issues, sciatic and stenosis. When that flares up, but I am careful. So I'm really looking forward to diving in and sharing about it, because a lot of people really don't know what red light therapy is. So why don't we even just start there? What is red light therapy?
Yeah, good place to start. So red light therapy is using a red light and infrared light to influence our body's own healing process. And this is not necessarily a new technology. This has been in use since the 1970s. Has been used in Russia for many, many decades in almost all state hospitals. And in the 1990s, it was introduced into the, you could say, the sports world. Most of the athletes are using this right now to make sure that they're at top performance, at peak performance. And I saw another company that made some really, really awesome products for that market. It's called Novathor. They've been in business for many, many years. And they make the products that the athletes use. So that's, in the thousands of dollars, if not hundred thousands of dollars. Really, really cool stuff. And when I looked at that, I was like, why isn't there something on the market that is for everybody and that is affordable and effective and preferably portable, and something that you can use every day, and something I can send to my mom without a manual that's yay thick that she can figure out how to use. When I first looked into this, I figured out that this technology is extremely effective, very, very useful, and rests on the fact that light can actually go through your skin and go through your tissue deep into the body. And to demonstrate that, I have a little laser over here. That is a red laser. And if I put my hand in front of the laser, you can see that the laser is actually shining through. The hand actually lights up, and this is red light. That same effect is even more extreme with infrared light. Infrared light can penetrate even deeper and has a different effect. And the effects that infrared light has is that you have much more cellular energy, much better blood flow, and muscle relaxation, and a reduction in inflammation. And this is basically what people figured out about 30 to 40 years ago. And 30 to 40 years ago, the light sources to do that were lasers. And lasers are super expensive. So this kind of equipment was used as hospital equipment, but it never found its way into people's living rooms because it was too expensive to produce. And in the last couple of years, there's been a huge change in the LEDs that are used for products like this. They've become much more efficient, much more effective, and LED light is safer than laser light. So what we came to is to look at what was in the market, look at the research that's behind this, and there's a huge amount of research behind this. I have a cache of about 3,500 studies into red light therapy. And there you can see for all kinds of different illnesses, for all kinds of different things, this seems to be beneficial. Eventually we turned this into, I'm gonna just grab a little circuit board off my stack here so you can see that. These are the LEDs that we use currently. High power, up to 1.4 watts can come out of this LED of optical output power. That's a lot. And we noticed that power matters. If the products are too low power, then the effects are quite seriously diminished. So you need a certain level per square centimeter to have a good effect for this. The eventual result of our research was this product, the FlexBEAM, which you can use by basically wrapping it around your problem. And you can use it on your stomach, you can use it on your lungs, you can use it twice a day on the same location to get an optimal amount of light energy into your body. And it does that with its own timer. So I can start the device. I can select a mode, 1, 2, or 3, and then I can press start. Each treatment takes 10 minutes. You can strap the device on because it has these bands that come with it. Velcro, nice and soft. You can wrap it around, place it and forget it. It'll time out by itself, switch off, and then you can either place it somewhere else or just do what you're doing. And that's how we basically designed this product. And as you can see, if you place a product like this, the light will actually overlap. If I place my arm in here, the light comes in from 3 different directions and it overlaps. And that's very important. It's a big difference with the wall panels that are out there that you can purchase. You have to stand in front of those without clothing because this cannot penetrate your clothing properly. In our case, you get light in from 3 different directions. And we've noticed that that's actually a major advantage because it overlaps where it's needed most, in the center of the body where you have your inflammation, where you have your pain. And that is the case for most issues like knee pain, back pain, hip pain, etc. Is you'd like to go deep, and if you have light overlapping, that is a really big benefit, a big plus.
Wow, very interesting. Now, as far as red light therapy, is there a limit you'd want to do and use it?
The limit is 2 times a day per location. And the limit is there not because if you do more, your leg falls off or something bad happens, but you just undo the positive effects of light treatment by using it too much. It's like charging a battery. You can't overcharge it too much. It's not good for the battery. It's kind of the same with us. And it's even a similar principle because the energy that comes out of these LED lights is literally converted back into electricity in the body. And that electricity is what helps that natural healing process that we all know we have, but which sometimes starts faltering as we age or as problems are not prioritized by us sometimes. That body part cannot hold the charge, the electric charge that's basically inside the cells. And this device recharges that and relaxes the muscles and reduces inflammation all in one go by the effects of infrared and red light.
Very interesting. I think it's so great as you were sharing and showing with some of these boards compared to what FlexBEAM offers and wrapping it around your body parts. So you're getting on multiple angles, which seems so much more effective. And so I love that idea. And I think it's going to make it easier for experience too. So people don't have to necessarily sit at a wall or stand at a wall. You can move around, which would be very helpful. So how did it all start with FlexBEAM? Obviously, you came up with the idea, but how did it and coming together with the team to create this product?
Well, it started maybe, let's see, 4.5 years ago. I worked for a Norwegian company, a solar company, making solar products for them. And those solar products contain lights, LED lights. And we had a pretty big customer, United Nations.
Yep.
So we made a couple million of these things and sold them to the UNHCR. But they came back with a question one day, and they asked, can LED light be harmful? And I was like, I don't really know. So I started diving into it and looking into the literature and going on to PubMed and other places to collect studies that looked into that, the dangers of LED light. And basically, I thought I have to get my grammar right and make sure that I understand what light actually is, what the different wavelengths mean, how they function, what the differences between red light and blue light and green light, and how they affect us. And I figured out that yes, LED light, when it's very blue light in the evening, is not good for you. So in the evening, you want to stay away from very blue lighting. You can see here in my office, it might look a little bit yellow. It's evening time here, and yeah, that's basically how I do it. I use either yellow LEDs or I use incandescent lights. The other side effect, or the side note that I found during my study, is that infrared light is actually very beneficial, and LED light doesn't have any. That's why it's so efficient, because you're not broadcasting something you can't see. So I was like, that's kind of intriguing. Like, what are the benefits? And I read a couple of more studies, and I was like, wow. I found some studies from Dr. Hamblin, Michael Hamblin. He is one of the leading researchers in this field, and has written a whole lot of fantastic studies. And that motivated me to build something by myself. And I did that, so I built it, and I tested with different power levels and different wavelengths and different light sources, and eventually found the best LEDs that I could find, and started getting really, really good results with friends and family. And then it was time to start a company, because basically the concept was proven, this works. It's still not in the market, certainly not at a good price. The technology has changed a lot, and the industry hasn't really caught on yet. So I was like, wow, that's a golden opportunity. Let's get in there and let's see if we can make that consumer product that is a couple $100, that is easy to use, that is 100% safe. I was like, okay, that looks like a challenge we can handle. So we started doing that, and me and Mr. Barman, Christian Barman, got together. We started a company and started hacking away, and looking at what can we do different. There's no point in copying the competition, right? So you have to have something that's unique, that has its own way to solve the problem, so to say. And then I started looking into the overlapping of light, and that looked very promising. It worked well. I noticed it had very good response. And after now about 3 years of tinkering, we have completely designed a product. We have all the accreditations that we need as a company to make medical devices. So we're ISO 1485 certified for development of medical devices, for manufacturing of medical devices. So yeah, the company is there. We have now launched our product. You were kind enough to mention that. So yeah, it's been quite exciting times, and a little bit challenging as well, of course, with the COVID happening this year, and meaning that I can't travel to my suppliers to check on everything and make sure everything is A-okay, which I normally do. So all in all, I think we came through well, and we get all the parts in at the quality that we want, and we assemble them right here in Chiang Mai, in Thailand. So if you order something from us, it will be shipped from here.
That is great. And I from looking at the website and I'm understanding company has, maybe you could talk about, the warranty, and so they could feel comfortable about the product, that you're standing behind the product. And I also believe that there's a 30-day trial period as well.
Yeah. There's a 30-day trial period. I absolutely 100% believe in this product. I mean, I use it every single day, and I have not had one return from a person that said, I don't like it, it doesn't work for me. So after, we sold already about 600 of these units before we went on Indiegogo. It's the same promise to people, like, if you don't like it, you get your money back. And we have had 0 returns, and a lot of emails from people saying how fantastically happy they are with a device that is, either comforting them or taking away their pain. So for me, that's the gold right there. That motivates me to get up in the morning and get to work and get new things designed and new things made. That's the biggest reward for me, to get emails back from people that say, okay, I've had 15 years of pain, and now in 2 weeks it's gone. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see what it will do for me. So
Yeah, man. Yeah.
maybe you could send me one through the computer here.
Try to shove it through the camera,
There you
but
go.
it's a bit small.
So you were just showing the charcoal color. So as of right now, it
Yeah.
comes in the two colors. The one which
Yeah.
you could see
So there's the
behind
white
me,
and the charcoal. Yeah. These are the two colors that we went for. Both are available. Both are in production, and yeah, I like both of them. I have to say the charcoal one had to grow on me for a little while. I didn't like it in the beginning, but now I do. But yeah, people have a choice in which color they want, and I welcome any feedback. If people are like, "Wow, you should do it like this or that," I welcome it, because it actually is pretty tricky to pick colors for products. It's not that easy.
Yeah, I bet, because you got to please a lot of people.
That's right. You can't please everyone either, right? So at least we have two different colors.
How long's the battery life on a charge?
The battery life on a charge is about an hour and a half on setting 3. So that's about 7 treatments or so. And then you have to recharge it, but it is pretty quick. It recharges in an hour and a half.
Oh, that is quick, yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite fast. The batteries we use are from LG. So we use only high-end electronic parts in this device. And this device, the battery can be replaced. We can send you a battery, and if you dare to remove 4 screws from the bottom, which I know not everybody will, but if you don't mind doing that, then you can do it by yourself. We support people that want to repair or upgrade their product 100%. So not like a lot of other big companies that try to make things unrepairable. For us, each board has connectors. If a board breaks, you can swap it if you want. We can do it for you, of course. If it happens within 2 years, if your device has an issue, we will fix it for you, of course. So you get a 2-year warranty on the device. Yeah, it's all, I mean, I used to be a repair engineer, right? I started my career as a repair engineer. So I designed this device with repair in mind.
Nice. It sounds like you've put together something fantastic. And as far as with you in Thailand, you ship worldwide?
We ship worldwide. Yep.
Great.
We ship actually quite a lot to Europe and actually all over the world. It's quite surprising to see where the packages are going every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, hopefully here in the States, you'll see quite a number of sales, which would be fantastic. So obviously you've mentioned you sold 600 units and now have gone the Indiegogo route. Any reason to choose to go with Indiegogo?
Yeah, crowdfunding I think is cool. Is a nice way to reach out to people and show what you got, which otherwise is usually a very expensive exercise. It still is. I mean, it costs money to go on Indiegogo, and you have to buy advertisement and everything. Still, it's important to make a splash, and that's what we're attempting to do here, is to make a splash and show to everyone, this is here now. This is the next generation of being well, and I think people are ready for it. People seem to like this idea. People are finally opening up a little bit more to understanding that general wellness and good health can be aided by devices, because most people in the Western world are pretty much unknown or unfamiliar with using a device to better something. Mm-hmm. Most people are used to using a pharmaceutical to better something, or people are used to using, taking painkillers. A lot of people that buy FlexBEAM are people that know that they're taking too many painkillers, and they need something else, something that doesn't just kill the pain, but something that helps you fix the problem, something that actually reduces the inflammation, actually enhances the blood flow. Red light therapy is that thing, I think, that a lot of people might not know that they're looking for.
Right. That's great. And it's nice that you have proven result, that you're seeing people have results with it, and you personally, there's a lot of products on the market, that appear to sound good that just don't work, and it's, red light therapy seems to be the real deal.
It's the thing, and it's tricky, man. If you're a consumer right now and you're looking for stuff, and you're not willing to study something for 20 hours just to figure out whether it makes sense or not, and I understand a lot of people can't afford to do that. It's tricky to figure out what is actually real and what is not real or kind of anecdotal or kind of somewhere in the middle. Maybe it helps, but just a little bit, or it's tricky to find out. But the most important thing is the evidence from the market. When you sell products, how do people reply back to you? For me, that's like the proof in the pudding is in the eating, right? So when you get people feedback to you and say, yep, this is working well. This is also a reason why we sold 500 units first. Because yes, I've seen around me some serious success cases with people that otherwise would have had operations or whatever else, that now by using red light therapy are just fine. But once you sell a couple hundred pieces, you get that feedback from the market, and for real, this time 100% realistic feedback of what's going on and how are people responding, and it's been overwhelmingly positive. People love it. So I'm super stoked. That's really the cherry on the pie for me.
When people may look at the product and see the price point being different than some of the other boards, which can get very expensive, is there anything as far as that you could share about the technology behind it, the wavelengths, or anything where the general
Totally, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'm trying to keep things a little bit not
just
so
something
technical.
very, is it a different wavelength, or to be able to offer a product so much more affordable versus some of these products that can get so expensive? Anything like somebody can just, the general person can really understand.
Sure. Well, there's a tips and tricks thing in one hand, I can say. When you buy a device, you need to have at least 80 milliwatts per square centimeter of power. That's one thing. If you buy something, that has that. If it doesn't have that, don't bother, because it's not powerful enough. So that's one thing. And one of the easy ways to see that, if a product doesn't have a fan, if it doesn't have active cooling, it's probably not going to be powerful enough. You need to have active cooling. When you look at the difference between panels and this, it's not just the price and it's not just the convenience. It's just for a different audience. If you're an athlete who spends hours a day training to become the best athlete, and you want to stand in front of a panel 20 minutes a day to get that full body thing, it's awesome. It's perfect for those guys. Very good. But it's not something I can give to my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted something that I could give to my mom. That would be simple, and that it wouldn't be necessary for me to talk on the phone for an hour every day explaining how to turn the damn thing on or off, or change the setting, or which setting to use, or that was my goal. So my audience is very different from those the panel companies, and I think a lot of the panel companies make awesome product, and no disrespect to them, I think they're doing a great job, and it's fantastic if you have that in your local gym and places like that. It's awesome. It really works. But if you want to have something that doesn't take time out of your day at all, that you can just strap on and you target it specifically on one area, then this can be more effective than a panel, because you always get the same dose, because these lenses, they touch your skin. And if you pull them away, the amount of power per square centimeter falls off a cliff. It's not linear, right? So that's why this is so much more convenient to use. You can use it while you're driving in your car. You can use this in any kind of way, and you have that overlap happening, and you target it exactly where you want it. And in that way, I think you can do something for less money, less complexity, and on the go, battery powered, no cables. I think that's really what makes the big difference between the panel products and what we have over here. And it's the first in its class, I think, that combines the portability with the power, with the ease of use, the price point. I think that's the unique combination.
I love it, and that makes a lot of sense, and looking forward to me using it. As far as do you really feel any heat on the skin? It's
not comparable to a heat lamp or an infrared sauna in the old-fashioned way with the light bulbs. I think you've seen those before.
Yeah.
That's a lot of heat. That's like 250 watts, 95% of its heat. In this case, it gives a soothing warmth. It's kind of like a water bottle. You fill it up. It's warm. It keeps you warm. It's kind of like that kind of soothing warmth that comes out of this. It's temperature controlled, so if it does get too warm, then it will switch off automatically. It's also air cooled, so the chance of that happening as long as this is not obstructed, it will not overheat. But it's entirely safe for that, and the skin won't get any. Basically, you heat up the skin by several degrees, 3, 4, 5 degrees or so. So it's not going to get hot, but it's nice, comfortable, soothing warm.
Nice. Looking forward to warming up on a cool winter day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for those winter days, that's super cool. So where it comes to wavelengths, 800 to 850 is kind of the sweet spot.
Yep.
Most products are 850. We are at between 810 and 840.
Okay.
There's some trickery that we do to make this LED pulse on different wavelengths, and that makes sure that you basically cover the whole spectrum. You cover that entire spectrum that you want to cover. And I found that in my study, and also in a comparison study between, let's say, meta study between all these different studies. Like, okay, what's the sweet spot? Where do they get the best results? The best results you get between 820 and 850 roughly. So that's what we picked. And for the red light, it is 635 nanometers. And that's a color that is basically not absorbed immediately by your hemoglobin, by your red blood cells. It's nice to have that because it means you can go deeper.
Or benefits and feedback you've heard from people, anything you might be able to share, some testimonials?
It's pretty wide. It's pretty wide. This is one of the few things that is just like giving the body a little bit of extra fuel to fix a problem. And in many cases, when something doesn't heal, when you get chronic pain, it's just below that threshold. It just doesn't get enough energy to get over the hump. And what you can do with red light therapy is to apply that energy locally where it's needed to get over that hump and get down that path of healing again. And that's basically the beauty behind red light therapy, because it's so basic, so to say, and what you add is literally energy. So what the problem is becomes a little bit less relevant, because whatever the problem is, it's going to need energy to fix that.
Mm-hmm. Anything in the future with ideas that you might have, like some other different types of products around red light therapy, or you think this is going to be your bread and butter for a while?
We're always going to keep innovating, and that's my main drive. And I'm basically the innovation guy here. So that's my favorite part of the job, is to invent new stuff. And yes, we have some new stuff going on right now, and we're working on several products that still work with light. The most important one is the one that works with the brain. Infrared light also has a very, very positive influence on how our brain functions, and the amount of energy that's available there, and the amount of blood flow, and the amount of energy our microglia have, the white blood cells that are in your brain and that are responsible for a whole lot of things. There's a lot of research going right now into Alzheimer's and into depression even, and into people that have had strokes, etc., to see what red light therapy can do for them. And it looks extremely promising. It's one of the few things that helps for people with neurodegenerative diseases. I mean, even Pfizer said we're going to stop looking into finding medicines for things like Alzheimer, because they say it's too costly, too complicated. Maybe they just took the wrong approach. Maybe the approach should be different. Maybe the approach should not be pharmacological. Maybe there's more we can do with other stuff. So looking very bright for the future, and we are working on a product like that. And once it's time for me to release some images and show you some samples, then I will definitely let you know.
That would be great, because in fact, I have started a new channel. A friend of mine's father suffered from Alzheimer's, and so we're building a channel specifically about Alzheimer's and sharing stories. And it's just seems like just a horrible way to have to end your life.
Yeah.
And then we just actually spoke to somebody whose wife had it at 57 and died so young. Well, thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning here and Sunday evening there. Be safe with you and your family. Really looking forward to getting my unit, so hurry up.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I will ship this to you tomorrow. Don't worry.
So thank you again, and I'll put a link in the description, everybody, so you could learn more about FlexBEAM, take advantage of the pricing on Indiegogo now, and then soon on their website thereafter. So thank you again, be safe, and looking forward to using it and make me feel better.
Okay, same to you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.